city of Chelmsford? Oh, yes. Did you know Charles Dickens stayed in Chelmsford once, and he described it as the dullest and most stupid spot on the face of the earth? But then, of course, Basildon was built. I've got a lot of great memories in Chelmsford. I was at Highlands Park, a nearby local park, having a nice walk on a first date with a beautiful girl. We were holding hands, it was all going rather well, until a dog walker let her dog off the leash. Its huge, rabid, slathering jaws ran straight towards me. So I did what anyone would have done. I pulled her in front of me to use as a human shield. Obviously, we didn't have a second date. Her face was horribly mauled, I couldn't bear to look at it. And it's ruined dogging for me. Also in Chelmsford as well, recently, one of my friends was in a production of the Vagina Monologues at Chelmsford's very own Civic Theatre. I knew nothing about the show, I just assumed it was going to be the greatest ventriloquism act I'd ever seen. Hello! How are you today? Oh, I like the look of you! Stop it, behave! So clearly I knew nothing about the show, so I decided to research it, so I googled it. Probably shouldn't have used image search. Let's just say I learned nothing about the show, but the research was exhausting. Lady in the front row there making eye contact at that time. That's what makes it awkward, isn't it? Hello! Also, through my job, I get to work with the Oxford of Chelmsford Anglo-Ruskin University. Oh yes, oh yes. And I noticed I was looking at their term planner recently, and Wednesday, week 3, it was volunteering with the elderly. Thursday, week 3, it was chlamydia testing. Coincidence? I think not. Also, Chelmsford's where I made my most recent purchase. I've just bought a brand new 3D TV. Right, does that sound like sarky ghosts? Let's try that one more time. I've just bought a brand new 3D TV. They're much better. Still a bit spooky, but better. On the TV, the best thing about this particular TV is there's a button on a remote control that when you press it, it makes any channel look 3D. So I thought, I've got to try this. So I flicked to Babe Station, right, pressed the button, and suddenly, it was like the girl was right there in my living room. But because of that, I suddenly felt really awkward. I ended up getting a blanket to cover her up, put my trousers back on, and offering her a cup of tea. Then I asked her if she did need ventriloquism. Aside from that embarrassing incident with the 3D TV, people often say to me, they say, Phil, how is it you are so good at romancing the ladies? But they do. And you're absolutely right. So today, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to give you 8 and tips on how you can improve your love life. Guys, girls like things, so buy them something nice. Don't buy them something rubbish like gift certificates, a potted plant, or a dead puppy. To be fair, it was alive when I wrapped it. I think getting it in the letterbox. I think that was the real problem. I saw the worst romantic gift ever the other day. Who's heard of the 4 Dummies books? Like Mathematics for Dummies or English for Dummies? Yeah. A few nods. I saw Dieting for Dummies. Now imagine buying that for someone, saw this, and thought of you because you're both fat and stupid. Absolute madness. Just a quick sexy fact for you. Did you know, at the end of coitus, a man's speed of emission is 17 kilometres an hour, which coincidentally is the same speed as a mobility scooter. Just another quick top tip if you are thinking of covering your loved one in chocolate body paint, and I can see you are. Don't have a Twix half an hour beforehand. You end up being bloated afterwards. And don't use chocolate body paint substitutes. I used Nutella once, which worked like a charm, until an anaphylactic shock kicked in. When she was thrashing about, I just thought she was having a great time. Till she stopped breathing. Worst thing is, I didn't even notice. All a little bit awkward. So, once you've got a handle on the basics, you may decide to spice things up in the bedroom. You may decide to enter a sex shop. I remember the first time I entered a sex shop. I actually was living in Canada at the time, and I've noticed there are 2 major differences between British sex shops and English sex shops. You see, in English sex shops, they're quite reserved. There's just no window displays, but in North American sex shops, they have massive window displays. They had something in one of them that looked like a hat stand. Apparently it wasn't a hat stand. Apparently it was a, well, can't go into it now, but where are you going to find 6 other like-minded people to actually do it with? Thinking of it, I'm probably Basildon again. And the second major difference between English sex shops and North American sex shops is in English sex shops you find people who are like, what's your name, sir? Pete. In English sex shops you find people like Pete. In North American sex shops, anyone can go, not just perverts. fetish role-playing area. Not to practice in the shop, but to pick out clothes to practice. And I've noticed they have boss secretary, they tend to have doctor nurse, they have maid employer. All a bit boring, to be honest. So I've cut my top 3 unusual sexual role plays. Now, are you actually a couple? Would you like to be a couple?
Awkward.
The smile on his face, the look of terror on her face. Okay, here we go, just quickly to finish. Top 3 unusual sexual role plays. What's your name? Natalie and Pete. Natalie, you are a lion. Pete, you are a gazelle. Natalie, you're gonna hunt Pete across the bedroom savannah, catch him, hunt him, and then drag him straight down to your watering hole. Thinking about it, Wildlife on One's on tonight, so I can see what that looked like in 3D. And at number 2, you, Pete, you're the Italian coastline, and you're the Costa Concordia. Now, as the Italian coastline, this is great for you, Pete, because you get to scrape along her bottom until she keels over onto one side and a large hole opens up. If you do this right, one of you will end up getting arrested. And finally, my number 1 unusual sexual roleplay, Pete, you're the Royal Mail, and you, madam, you're UPS. Pete, this is great for you, because you'll take ages to come, and madam, you're guaranteed to come within 1 working day. I've been Phil Drew, thanks very much.
Phil Drew, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, thanks for that smooth